having, you say, well, those people 54 and below have
Right.
to, I don't know.
Okay, so what does that look like? Okay, so let's assume this goes into law, and it passes just like you're describing, meaning this year it goes into law and it's the 54 and below, and you the 55 and above. For you, 55 and above, nothing changes. We get rid of the President's Price Control Board, and it just is as you know it. The problem is Medicare is going insolvent in 9 years. Medicare is on an unsustainable path that it can't finance itself. And so we're saying, for those 54-year-olds, when they turn retirement age, when they turn 65, the system would work like the one that we have in Congress, that federal employees have. It would look like Medicare Advantage looks like, which is about a quarter seniors get today, or like the prescription drug benefit looks like, where you, your wife, would get, on a website or a book, a list of Medicare-approved plans, Medicare-regulated plans that give her benefit. Just like a senior picks the prescription drug benefit, she picks the plan she wants, and then Medicare subsidizes the plan. It subsidizes it more if she's low income or middle income. As she gets sicker, it subsidizes her more, and if she's a wealthy person, it doesn't subsidize it as much. That's basically what we propose to do. And then it's a plan that every year, if she doesn't like her plan, she can fire it and go to a new one. And that act of competition, like we saw with the drug benefit, is they compete for her business. If they're not doing a good job of offering her the comprehensive health care benefits that Medicare regulates, then she can fire that plan and go to another one the next year. Doing that makes them compete against each other for her business. The alternative to that, in the future we have in which Medicare is going bankrupt, is we just do more and more price controls. Medicare is a government monopoly, and this board of unelected bureaucrats called the IPAB, the Independent Payment Advisory Board, they just lower prices and reimbursement, which means doctors, hospitals, they just do more with less, meaning or do less with less. That means, I think, at the end of the day, you'll end up having a ration system. And we don't want to have government making these decisions. I would rather have the power placed in the hands of the Medicare beneficiary so that they're the nucleus of the system, so that all the providers, whether it's hospitals or insurance companies or doctors, compete against each other for their business, versus having a system that's going bankrupt, that's just indiscriminately cutting costs across the board by some board of 15 people that don't even have to go through Congress to have their cuts approved. That, to me, is basically the choice we have of Medicare in the future, and that's what it would look like.
But right now, Medicare, if you're on Medicare, you don't pay anything for that, right?
No, I mean, you pay co-pays and deductibles, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not there.
Yeah, you're 57, so, yeah. No, you pay, there's co-insurance, there's co-pay. Look, the fact that people have to go out by Medigap insurance itself shows you that Medicare is not a comprehensive system to begin with.
Is there somewhere on the internet or somewhere we can get from you that if you make this much money a year income, you pay this much?
Yeah,
is there a way for us to, for me in 8 years or 9 years,
the way,
look at it and say, what am I going to have to save now to pay that?
Exactly. Well, so the way this works is if you're a low-income person, Medicare will pay all your out-of-pocket costs. They'll give you a medical savings account, about $7,800 starting in 2022, and then that's indexed for inflation to cover your co-pays and your deductibles. If you're a middle-income person, you'll get the subsidy that is equal to the average per beneficiary subsidy at Medicare at that time. And that grows as well. If you get sick, meaning you have diabetes or heart disease or something like that, you'll get a higher subsidy to protect your premiums from rising. If you're wealthy, and here's how we define wealthy. It's how Part B defines it right now. If you make $80,000 in income as an individual or $160,000 in income, not assets, in income as a couple, then the means test starts kicking in. So it's the top 6% of income earners get less of a subsidy going forward than everybody else does. How about this side? I'm going to bounce back and forth. Yeah, sure.
Pre-existing illnesses, how is that going to be handled?
So in Medicare, just like it does today, you can't be discriminated against based on pre-existing conditions. So pre-existing conditions in Medicare, the plans have to offer to everybody, and they can't deny coverage to anybody.
So if you fire that plan, they can't discriminate against.
That's right, that's right. They call it guaranteed issue, community rating. It's an insurance term. We basically say, especially for